Hey guys, welcome or welcome back if you're new here. I'm Jamie. This will be a reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. And as most of you know, the readings just can't resonate. Not for all of you every single time. If it's not yours, just discard it. Maybe the next one's yours. Remember that there is no gender. If I pull a king, queen, emperor, or an empress, the gender or the sex really doesn't matter. It's all about the personality, which I'll describe. You'll definitely know who we're talking about. If you'd like to book a personal, that information's in the description of the video. I also offer a membership. All the perks to that are listed if you go to the membership tab or if you hit the join button below. A lot of tarot lessons, mental health information, members-only videos, members-only readings, and members-only live chats. So there's like a lot of stuff that I do randomly in there too on top of that. So if you want to check that out, the join button. If you are a tarot reader and you would like to do a live with me, hit me up. Information's in the description. Keep in mind that, you know, like, I'm just trying to have fun with readers. I don't care how many subscribers you have. You do have to have a channel, though. That's it. So I'm just pulling a general spread here, letting the oracle lead the way. We'll clarify with the tarot. And then I'll grab some advice at the end. Okay, so we have the hero's journey. I am the hero of my story. My life is an ongoing adventure of growth and courage. I am victorious. We have it's time to take action, new moon in Aries. And we have threatening, intimidating, threatened, or bothered, and bad reputation. Bottom of the deck. My goodness. The overall energy is the Nine of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, I have the Six of Cups. And I have the Eight of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hanged Man. So, Pisces, Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, or Taurus could be totally valid in your life. And whether it's in your chart, somebody that you deal with or something. Kind of interesting. I think that maybe you've had this problem where you've always felt like your reputation was being threatened, or maybe you've had your reputation sort of like dragged through the mud before, and it's just kind of been like, you know, because it was so adverse in life that you constantly like worried about what other people thought about you and like acquiring a bad reputation some way. And I feel like here there's this energy of like breaking free from that. Needing, you know, maybe other people's validation, or feeling like if people don't agree with who you are or what you do, that means something bad about you, or just really wanting everybody to like you. I think that it's gotten you fucked up quite a few times, right? You know, I think that there's also some recognition that this is like, you know, like some ongoing type of like, I don't want to say trauma, because it's not that. I want to say like this is some type of adversity that you sort of like picked up as like maybe like a smaller child and kind of always stuck with. You know, you were always maybe a little too concerned with what other people thought about you, insecure that people would see you badly. And I think right now you're over that. You know, I think that it took a lot to get over it. but you don't give a shit anymore. And that is so freeing. And I think that's why, like, you see these two cards together, you know? Because I think this was holding you back, you know, thinking that you had to look a certain type of way to everybody, and maybe you needed to do something that was like, you know, just super conventional so that people didn't look at you, right? You know, I'm also getting like, you know, some people, maybe they like come from like a really traditional family, you know, and they're like, you know, in their 40s and don't have kids. And they used to feel some type of way about that. Like, I really don't want kids, but I think everybody looks at me kind of bad. And maybe for a while they even thought about it. You know, like just some weird kind of energy like that. I do. I feel like a lot of this started in childhood, maybe feeling like you weren't good enough. And people could easily affirm that. And you might have fallen apart in the past. But I feel like here you have this whole new, like, perspective of yourself. Like, I think you've completely changed your mind about who you are, what you're able to achieve, and whether or not other people have to agree with that. You know, saying this sounds easy, right? Like, to not give a fuck what other people say. And you'll hear people do this, I don't care what somebody thinks about me. And they don't mean that shit. They fall apart, you know what I mean? And that may have been the attitude for you in the past. But when you say it right now, you really mean it. Like, I don't give a shit. If you don't like me, I'm cool with that. You don't like what I do? Fuck off then. Don't be around. You know, I think your attitude has completely changed and you're just not really bothered by people anymore. Some of you kind of like grew up, or people would kind of like smear your name or your reputation. Like, you could have really been like the scapegoat or like, you know, the black sheep in the family. And, you know, everybody else looked fine as long as they were always putting everything on you. And then, you know, that stays with you forever. But now it's just not there. You don't really care. If somebody doesn't like you, you just fuck off. You know, like, it just doesn't mean anything to you. I really feel like there is no emotional attachment to how other people feel about you. Especially people from your past that you had to heal from. Like, you know, this could have been like they were a part of the problem, you know, like, you know, I already wasn't feeling good about myself. It was pretty clear that I was feeling like shit and that I was insecure and at my worst, and you guys were just jabbing more and more at me. You know, I feel like this took so much work that other people could never understand or will never understand in their life, because they actually will never come out of this pattern. There are people that will die trying to look like this idealized version of themselves that they've never been and never really will be, even if it looks like it on the outside. And this is true freedom, when you literally are not stopped by what someone else says, you know? Worse, I think some of you have completely, you just return the energy now. Somebody's a shithead to you, you're a shithead back. You know, you could have had problems in the past where you were actually too nice. And even though you didn't feel internally that nice, that niceness was kind of like, almost like a fakeness, I want to say, for people to like you. Like, if somebody would have done something to you, you would have kind of just walked away and left them alone and not did anything in return. And that is not who you are today. So why is this all relevant right now? The Knight of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, I have the Hierophant, Taurus energy. I think there's like, you know, maybe this is something that's coming up and you're going to see the change. I feel like, you know, there's somebody that's trying to attack, or you could just be dealing with these kinds of energies right now. It could just be like something planetary going on or something, you know, where everybody's just kind of like impulsive and they say whatever, but they don't really think before they speak. And this is where you're going to see the change. I think that you'll actually see that, like, something, like, you're not really who you used to be. You don't need them. You're going to see how little you need people. Like, and that is not just something that you're saying. Where I think somebody's going to say something to you and it's meant to hurt you and you actually just don't give a shit. And you're like, wow, I have really, really grown. So it's just kind of saying here that like you're going to see the growth. And I think you'll be rewarded for this in some type of way too. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant here. The Nine of Pentacles. There's kind of something here where like some of you like really separated yourself for a while from like everybody. Like you really learned how to be in your own energy, and doing that actually made you understand exactly who you are, and you really can't be like swayed from it. Like I feel like you're like deeply spiritual. You have this really, really good connection with yourself. And I think that you're unfuckwithable right now, but there is definitely somebody trying you with the Knight of Swords. And whoever this is that's trying you with the Knight of Swords and the Four of Cups, there's like something up with this person anyway. Sometimes when I see the Knight of Swords, he kind of like gives me, and I'm not judging anybody, but like that impulsiveness that comes with like some severe mental illnesses, I want to say, but it's a very like triggered energy, but it's so impulsive. This would be like, and I don't feel like this is just how they're coming at you. I feel like this is an impulsive person. This would be like a person that can barely make the rent, that would just go buy something fucking crazy, and like their whole life is like just disappointment after disappointment because they don't make like good choices, or they don't really think. Like they have some behavioral issues, I want to say. And you need to just see them like that. This is somebody who's really like not like they're just like a person, I want to say, who's like super apathetic, and they may not even see themselves that way. It's just kind of, it's a nobody. Let's just say it like that, because somebody just doesn't act like this towards people, I feel like it's also kind of saying that, like, if you just stay in this grace and in this glory, knowing that like this person, all they're doing is using words. They can't truly hurt you, right? Kind of doing nothing about it is the same thing as doing something. Think about it, right? Say you're in an impulsive mood and you really feel like disappointing somebody today. So you go and you say some really, really fucked up shit at somebody and you expect a reaction and you don't get one. Well, now you couldn't give these feelings to somebody else. They're still yours to hold. So you have all this anger and this frustration and no response to it. What do you do with that? You get more angry, you get more frustrated, but you know what else you do? You make yourself look like a fucking ass. I'm sorry, but that's this energy to me. Like somebody who, they think that, they're going to hurt somebody else and they don't care what they're doing to people in the moment. Like they just, they got something to say. They're just coming in on that bullshit. You know what I mean? Some of you, it's as simple as not giving any energy back. Some of you you can take like a whole paragraph of bullshit written to you and kill a bitch with 3 words. I mean that, like, it's something like that where, somebody is really, really trying to like shit in your cereal, but like you aren't going to eat that anyway, but they can have it. Like, I don't really, understand these energies, but that's just the fucking world today. Like, I think that somebody's just real fired up and, like, ready to come at you with some shit here, and not going to be a good day for them. Like, I feel like this is someone who's trying to smear your reputation in some type of way, though. You know what I mean? But they're not really thinking about it before they do this, and how stupid they could end up looking. And the truth is that they're really threatened by who you are, whatever, it's like they feel threatened by you, just to be clear. I don't know why all these cards flipped out, but I'm going to take them, as this is the advice. So we have the 8 of Swords, the King of Cups, the Page of Pentacles. Sorry, I'm trying to keep these in the order that they flipped out. The 3 of Wands, Strength, Leo energy, and the 2 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this is somebody who has like issues in life, you know what I mean? Like they don't think clearly, and I think that they have actual issues. Like they're not emotionally satisfied in life. They're not, you know, I don't feel like this is a person that's actually doing quite well. But for some of you, this person really, you know, when I see the Eight of Swords, I think of somebody who, you know, really has some like terrible thinking patterns. You know, they're like stuck in a mindset. You know, it gives me pathology. You know, this is, and maybe that's what it is, you know, like, just doesn't really have anything to do with you. Somebody just, this is who they are, like pathologically. They are impulsive. They are miserable in life. You know, they've been through a lot, but like they didn't do anything with it. You get what I'm saying? Like they're still sitting around bitching about it and crying about it and coming at other people with the shit and still being a messy ass mean person. You know what I mean? Like they didn't, everything they've been through, they're just like trying to make other people suffer with it instead of like taking the lessons, learning from it, changing who they are. What's interesting though is I think that this person, they expect to maintain a certain type of reputation, they might wreck themselves coming at you here. Because it's saying for you to just control your emotions and let this person say whatever they gotta say. You be patient. You let them say what they gotta say. Don't do anything. You don't have to do anything. They're gonna, you know, this is somebody who like is just gonna come in and make a complete ass out of themselves. Unless, of course, you are in control of yourself here. Then it's just going to turn into some messy ass argument or just dumb shit. You know what I mean? So here it's like, you know, you got to choose your battles. I think that's kind of the energy. Like I said, some of you don't even have to be completely quiet. You know what I mean? All you got to do is say 2-3 words to cut a bitch down after they go off. And that's frustrating when you put in all the time and energy to piss somebody off and it doesn't do anything to them. Like, think about that. Like, because you were already coming at them because you were frustrated. You were trying to feel better, you know? No, that's somebody else's fucking problem. And plus, I feel like whatever they're coming at you with, like however they're trying to smear you, is not, it's fictional. You know what I mean? It's just somebody who's impulsive and not really thinking. They don't know a fucking thing about you, or they really couldn't speak on you if they wanted to. Because if you were to turn it around, it would be bad. But I feel like it's really trying to tell you, like, this person could just have, like, some mental health issues. Where sometimes they're cool and other times they're just impulsive and stupid. You know? It's kind of giving me, like, maybe sometimes a bitch is manic. You know? You're not getting nowhere with that, though. It's best to just leave it alone. Like, you know, it's a person literally in psychosis. So, like, what the fuck are you supposed to do about that? Just let them do their thing, you know? For others of you, though, you're not going to let it just slide like that. You're going to tell a bitch about themselves. Bitch, go get yourself a little help. Maybe you need to go to the emergency room. You know? Get some emergency medical care and see if maybe they feel like you need a little 72-hour eval, you know? Because I think whoever this is, they do. Now, just keep in mind that, you know, before you do just tear a bitch down, you know, that state of mind for them and the energy you're going to end up putting into that just for that person to not remember it later or to not even mean what the hell they're saying. I feel like this is saying somebody's coming at you and either just give them 3 words and block them or just say nothing and block them. Like, there's no reason to exert the energy into an argument or any type of, like, conflict. You know what I mean? Like, they're just not worth your time. It's not even them. You know what I mean? This is, like, something that's going on with them mental health-wise, if that makes sense. Okay.